What is up, everybody? As you know, in my last video, we were going over the 2026 NBA trade deadline, the full trade deadline. So we're basically going to go over the full MLB free agency, like the full MLB free agency. So the whole offseason, all the signings, if I can. Let's get into it. So German Marquez just signed a one-year deal with the Padres. I really don't know why he would sign this, I really don't know why the Padres would sign him to this deal. Probably one of the worst pitchers that Colorado's ever had. He had like one or two good seasons, and then he just fell off from there. If we can have that one season success again with San Diego, that might be good for San Diego. But currently, I don't think it's a great deal. Next, we got Nick Castellanos signing a one-year deal with the Padres. I don't know if this is good or not. I mean, he's been slumping a lot. Last year, he was, I think, his career worst year. But yeah, definitely had a big slump year last year. But if he can be a solid hitter next year, 20 home runs, then I think that'll be a good deal for the Padres. Next, Zach Gallen re-signing with the Diamondbacks. I think this is a solid deal. I think if he can get up to that Cy Young potential again, then he could be a solid pitcher for that one-year deal, and then sign an extension in the next free agency. Next, we got Luis Rengifo going to the Brewers on a one-year deal. I think he's a solid infielder. Don't know if he's going to be their piece, really, but I think he could be a good backup and bench bat. Next, we got the Blue Jays getting Jesus Sanchez and the Astros getting Joey Loperfido. I think this is a solid deal for both teams. Jesus Sanchez offers a solid amount of hitting and defense, and then Joey Loperfido, I think he's solid, but he's just coming up. So we'll see what they can both do, but I think this is good for both teams. And then just Nick getting released like 2 days ago, last week, I don't remember exactly. I'm an A's fan, so I feel like I'm a little mad with this trade, but not mad too much. The Royals are getting Mitch Spence, and the A's are getting AJ Causey. I checked out AJ's stats. He was insane last year in AA, I believe. Don't remember exactly where he pitched. But I also did like Mitch Spence a lot, so a little sad that he's going, but we'll see what happens. I hope that this could work out for the A's because I'm an A's fan, but I will miss Mitch a lot. I think he was solid. Anthony Bonda goes to the Twins, and the Dodgers. Jeez, I don't know why I said Astros. Dodgers are getting international bonus pool money. Banda was good last season for a little bit, and then he just plummeted into the abyss. So he became really bad after a little bit. But, yeah, let's get into the next deal. Kike re-signing with the Dodgers. I think this is a solid re-sign. I think he's a good player, but we'll see what he can do next year. Paul Sewald signing with the Diamondbacks. I think he's a good pitcher. He just, has moments of goodness, moments of badness. But we'll see what he can do next year with the Diamondbacks. Max Muncy extends a one-year contract, $10 million extension with a club option for the 2028 season. Muncy's an amazing player. We'll see what can happen next year. He kind of did have a slump year, but he's getting older, so we'll see. Next deal, the Orioles are getting Chris Bassett on a one-year, $18.5 million deal. I think this is a pretty big payday for Chris Bassett. He is a good pitcher, but I don't know if he's worth close to $20 million. I miss him on the A's, but we'll see what he can do with the Orioles. He had a solid year with the Blue Jays last year, so we'll see. Miles Mikolas going to the Nationals. I don't think this is a good deal for the Nationals. I don't think Miles Mikolas is a good pitcher. Just my opinion, but you guys can have your own opinions. We'll see what happens, though. John King, don't really know too much about him, but going to the Marlins, we'll see what happens there. Gary Sanchez going to the Brewers. I think he's a solid player. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's been in the league for a while, so, Lindor will undergo surgery to repair a broken hamate bone in his left hand and will face a 6-week recovery. Don't remember that, but I guess that is one of the things that happens. Evan Phillips re-signing with the Dodgers. He's a solid pitcher. I think this is a solid deal. Yeah, Corbin Carroll being out is really bad. He had a great year last year and was showing a lot of promise, but see what happens next year. Jordan Montgomery on a one-year deal. I think this is a good deal. We'll see what happens. I think he's a good pitcher. We'll see what happens. I think he could lead him to some goodness, but we'll see. Jose Quintana going to the Rockies. Rockies are just signing all the unks in the league. But I feel like he could pitch good. We'll see. Obviously, the Rockies stadium does not help pitchers out a lot, so we'll see. Andre Granillo and George Soriano on a trade. Don't really know too much about them, so I can't really talk about this trade too much. Yeah, this is another thing that happened. Santander will be out 5 to 6 months. I mean, last year he had a horrible year, but, 2026 is looking to be his, comeback year. And then this one's a pretty good one. Justin Verlander going to the Tigers, returning to the Tigers after years of not being on the Tigers on a 1-year deal. He's old. He'll probably retire after this season, but we'll see. Brian Hudson for cash considerations. Mets are getting Brian Hudson. White Sox are getting cash considerations. Don't really know much about this either, so I can't really talk about it. Tomoyoki Sugano going to the Rockies on a 1-year deal. Really good rookie season last year. He's like 36, though, or 35, so he's pretty old. Like I was saying, they're signing all the youngs. But if he can have a solid year, we'll see. Hopefully his ERA is not too high with the Rockies, but probably will be. Spencer Schwellenbach is on the 60-day injured list with right elbow inflammation. Definitely not going to help at all. He's very solid, but we'll see. Aaron Savale to the A's on a 1-year contract. I was happy with his deal. I think he could be a solid pitcher with the A's. We'll see what happens, though. And, had kind of a letdown year last year, but if he can come back like he used to, he could definitely be a good deal for us. Jonah Heim going to the Braves on a 1-year deal. I think this is a solid deal for the Braves. I think he's a good player. Schumann going to the Yankees and Luis Burgos going to the Athletics. I'm going to miss Max Schumann a lot. I think he was a great utility player. He kind of did have an off year last year, but I loved the energy he brought to our team. I don't really know much about Luis Burgos, whatever, but we'll see what happens there. Chris Paddock going to the Marlins. I know he's been doing very solid in the MLB recently. I know in the beginning of his career, he didn't have the best start to his career, but we'll see what happens here. I think he could be a good deal. Nick Martinez, 2-year deal with the Rays. He was a very good pitcher for the Reds last year, so I think, the Rays got a good deal here, and they're trying to build, back to their old ways. Eric Fetty going to the White Sox, back to the White Sox on a 1-year deal. Very good deal. I think he kind of had an off year last year, but we'll see. This is a crazy deal. Durbin, Monasterio, Siegler, and a balance pick for Kyle Harrison, Shane Drohan, and David Hamilton. This is a big deal. I think that the Brewers win this, though. Kyle Harrison has such a bright future ahead of him, and I think he's going to shine for the Brewers next year. Zuna going to the Pirates on a 1-year, $12 million deal. He's a good hitter. He can hit bombs. I think that'll work out. MJ Melendez going to the Mets on a 1-year deal. Solid deal. Solid player. We'll see what happens. Rest in peace, Terrence Score. Yeah. Paul Goldschmidt going to the Yankees on a 1-year deal, re-signing with the Yankees. Scott Barlow going to the A's on a 1-year contract. I think this is a really good signing for us. I think he's a solid relief pitcher. $2 million deal. Can't really lose with that. We don't talk about the home run he gave up to Kurtz, but, whatever. Victor Mesa Jr. is going to the Rays, and the Marlins are getting Angel Brachi. I think this is a good trade. We'll see what happens, though. Brent Suter, he's been a solid reliever for years, and I think the Angels got a good player here. They might be contenders next year. We will see. The Orioles are getting Blaze Alexander, and the D-backs are getting Cade Stroud, Wellington Aracena, and Jose Mejia. I think this is a good deal for both teams. We will definitely see. Miguel Andujar going to the Padres on a 1-year deal. Such a good deal for the Padres here. Was such a solid hitter last year, and for the A's, he was amazing. The Reds, he was amazing. I think this is a very good deal for the Padres, and he'll produce a lot for them. Framber going to the Tigers on a 3-year, $115 million deal. He's a good pitcher, and I think this will work out for the Tigers a lot, and I think they'll push more into the playoffs, maybe in the World Series next year. IKF going to the Red Sox on a 1-year deal. It's solid. Not a head turner, but it's definitely solid. Carlos Santana to the D-backs on a 1-year deal. He's very old, but I think he might still be able to hit some tanks. We'll see. Aviciel Garcia is retiring. Forgot about that. Brendan Donovan going to the Mariners. I feel like the Mariners got fleeced here. Brendan Donovan for Harangelo, St. J, Ty Pete, Comp B draft pick, Colton Ledbetter, and then the Rays are getting Ben Williamson. Sorry if I pronounced any of those names wrong. I apologize if anyone gets mad in the comments. Brian Ramos is going to the Orioles for cash considerations to the White Sox. I don't really know too much about Brian Ramos. This is a decent deal, I feel like, for the Reds. Eugenio Suarez on a 1-year deal for $15 million. He had like 54 home runs last year, 56 home runs. If he could keep up that power and stuff, I feel like he could be an MVP candidate. White Sox are getting Jordan Hicks, David Sandlin, cash considerations, while the Red Sox are getting Gage Zeal and a BNL. Sorry. Don't really know who won the trade here. I know Jordan Hicks has been kind of, bad in the last couple of years, but we'll see. Luis Arraez on a 1-year deal with the Giants. Amazing contract here. And I think this is one of the most solid deals in the MLB for his value. Austin Hayes to the White Sox on a 1-year deal. He's a good player. We'll see what happens there. The GOAT, David Robinson, is retiring. Jeez. This is a big deal here. Extended. Jacob Wilson gets a 7-year, $70 million extension. The A's are spending so much money recently, and they definitely want to push into the playoff race in the coming years. Astros are getting Kai Tang, and the Giants are getting Joncel Villarroel. I think the Giants win this trade easily. Kai Tang was horrible last year for the Giants. It was not good at all. And I think Joncel Villarroel is a very solid player. Javian Sandridge to the Angels, and Yankees are getting cash considerations. Don't know much about this deal at all. Edward Julian, and Pearson Ole to the Rockies for Jace Kaminska cash considerations. I think the Rockies win this trade. Julian's a solid player. He just needs playing time, and he could definitely be solid. Yankees are getting Angel Chavili, and Rockies are getting TJ Rumfield. I think the Yankees might win this if they can transform him into a solid pitcher. Derek Law is going to the Diamondbacks. I think he's a solid player. We'll definitely see, though. Johnny Pareda struck out Ohtani, so he's obviously the best player in the MLB. And cash considerations for the Twins. I mean, Mariners get a backup catcher. I think he could definitely be a little bit solid. Harrison Bader on a 2-year deal with the Giants. Very solid deal for the Giants here, trying to push back into the postseason contention. Jose Ramirez extends a 4-year contract extension with the Guardians. Obviously, he took the money hit just to stay with the Guardians, and I respect him for that. He's been one of the best players in the MLB for years. Cooper Criswell to the Mariners for cash considerations. Sir Anthony Dominguez on a 2-year, $20 million deal to the White Sox. I think the White Sox can definitely be solid next year. I think they'll definitely win at least 10 to 15 more games, maybe even 20 more games. They've been signing some good talent, so we'll see here. One of the best relievers in the game, Sir Anthony Dominguez. Vidal Brujan to the Mets for cash considerations. I think he's good. We'll see what happens, though. Rangers are getting Mackenzie Gore, and the Nationals are getting Gavin Fein, Alejandro Rosario, Devin Fitzgerald, and Yeremy Cabrera, and Abimelech Ortiz. I think the Nationals barely gave up anything. I mean, I know Mackenzie Gore was an all-star last year, but he was 5-15 with the Nationals. Not saying the Nationals were good at all, but we'll see what happens. I think Mackenzie Gore is going to be really good for the Rangers. We'll see, though. But I feel like the Rangers gave up way too much to get Mackenzie Gore. We'll see, though. Taylor Rogers on 1-year deal with the Twins. Taylor's a really good pitcher. We'll see what happens there. But I think he was good last year. Freddie Peralta, Tobias Myers to the Mets for Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat. I think the Mets are winning this trade here. Peralta is an amazing pitcher, and Tobias Myers is really good too. I think the Brewers got a good deal too, but we'll definitely see. Yohan Moncada re-signed with the Angels. He was good last year. Luis Garcia to the Mets on a 1-year deal. Don't know too much about him. I know he's all right against... I'm an A's fan, so I watched him a little bit. I think he was all right against us. I don't remember too much. Cody Bellinger re-signs a 5-year deal worth $160 million for the Yankees. Definitely pays to be a Yankee with a short porch. Bellinger is an amazing player. I think this is a good deal. Luis Robert Jr. going to the Mets for Luis Angel Acuna and Truman Pauly. Luis Angel Acuna is going to trade so much. It's kind of sad, but we'll see what he can do. And then Bradley Blaylock to the Marlins for Jake Brooks. Don't know too much about that deal. Jorge Mateo to the Braves. Solid deal here. We'll see. Jacob Junis on a 1-year deal to the Rangers. I think he's a solid pitcher. I'm not too sure, though. Hassan Kim is going to be out for a while with a hand injury. Ryan Presley retiring. Victor Caratino on a 2-year deal. Definitely could be a solid backup catcher and whatnot for the Twins. JT Realmuto signing a 3-year extension for $45 million. I think that's solid. We'll see, though. Bo Bichette, 3-year deal with the Mets. I don't know what's going to happen here. He's got to produce, and it will be a good deal. Gavin Lux and Chris Clark to the Rays for Josh Lowe to the Angels, and Reds getting Brock Burke. Good trade for all teams all around, in my opinion. Kyle Tucker on a 4-year deal to the Dodgers for $240 million. Probably one of the biggest of the offseason. Very good player. I think the Dodgers won on this one. We need a salary cap in the MLB. Yosver Zuleta to the Mariners for Dusty Rivas. I think there's a good trade for both teams. We'll see, though. Taylor Clark to the Diamondbacks. Don't know too much about him. Willie Castro on a 2-year deal to the Rockies. Willie Castro is solid. We'll see what the Rockies can do with him. Ranger Suarez, 5-year contract with the Red Sox for $130 million. I don't even remember this happening. Am I an unk? Ryan Weathers to the Yankees for Dylan Lewis, Brendan Jones, Dylan Jasso, and Juan Matthew. Ryan Weathers is a solid pitcher, but if the Yankees can turn him into an ace, that'll be amazing. Chase Shughart to the Phillies and Francisco Loreto to the Pirates. Don't know too much about this. Nolan Arenado to the D-backs. I do not remember this happening. I forgot about this. Cash considerations, and then Jack Martinez, Cardinals. I think the D-backs won. Arenado is one of the best defensive third basemen of all time. Rays are getting Brett Wisely, Ken Waldichuk. Dude, we got rid of Ken Waldichuk? There's no way. No shot, bro. I'm an A's fan. This hurts. I do not remember Ken Waldichuk getting traded. Are we serious? Yeah, I'm a little mad, guys. Sorry. Pierce Johnson on 1-year deal to the Reds. He's all right. Bregman on a 5-year, $175 million deal to the Cubs. This is a good deal for the Cubs. I think he's going to do very good. Tyler Kinley re-signing on a 1-year deal. Jake McCarthy to the Rockies and Josh Groves to the D-backs. Ryan Stanek on a 1-year deal to the Cardinals. Very solid deal, I feel like. Andy Ibanez to the Dodgers on a 1-year contract. I think he's a solid player, and I don't know why the Tigers didn't re-sign him, but we'll see, though. Max Kepler getting 80-game suspension for steroids. Michael Lorenzen going to the Rockies on a 1-year deal. See what happens there. I think he's good, but he definitely needs to be more solid. Edward Cabrera to the Cubs, and the Marlins are getting Owen Casey, Christian Hernandez, and Edgardo De Leon. This is a crazy deal. I feel like the Cubs might win this, though. Cabrera's a great pitcher. Cardinals are getting Justin Brule, and the Guardians are getting cash considerations. Justin Henry Malloy going to the Rays for cash considerations. The Tigers. Kazuma Okamoto going to the Toronto Blue Jays on a 4-year contract. Don't know how much it was, but very solid deal. He's a great player. Eric Wagman on the Twins, going to the Twins for Cade Bragg to the Marlins. Tatsuya Maya on a 3-year contract to the Astros. Very solid deal. He's a great pitcher. Tyler Mahle going to the Giants. He's a good pitcher too. Kirby Yates, he's just an unk. He's very old. Probably one of his last years in the MLB to the Angels. Esteury Ruiz going to the Marlins. I miss him. To Dodgers getting Adriano Marrero. Zach Eflin going to re-sign with the Orioles on a 1-year deal. Andrew Heaney retiring. I feel like he wasn't even that old, but maybe I'm just tripping. Dane Myers to the Reds for Ethan O'Donnell to the Marlins. Hunter Harvey on a 1-year deal to the Cubs. He's a very solid relief pitcher. I think that's great. J.J. Bleday going on a 1-year deal to the Reds. He was horrible for the A's last year. I will miss him a little bit, but we'll see what happens there. Soderstrom getting a 7-year contract extension worth $86 million. To tell you the A's are spending money. They want to be contenders when they get to Vegas. Pete Fairbanks on a 1-year deal to the Marlins. Been one of the best relievers in the league, I feel like. Top 10 in my opinion. He's just a very underrated reliever. Let's get into the next deal. Ryan O'Hearn signing a 2-year deal with the Pirates. He's such a good hitter. I think this will be good for the Pirates. Jacob Webb going on a 1-year deal to the Cubs. Sean Newcomb on a 1-year contract to the White Sox. I'm missing him a lot. That was a great relief pitcher for us. I don't know why we didn't re-sign him, but whatever. Ronnie Henriquez will miss the entirety of the 2026 season after undergoing a UCL reconstruction. Okay. Zach Pop on a 1-year contract to the Phillies. Rob Refsnyder on a 1-year deal to the Mariners. This is very good for the A's. Jeff McNeil and cash considerations to the Athletics for Yordan Rodriguez. I think the A's won this trade 100%. McNeil's going to have such a smaller park, and I feel like he's going to hit 20-plus home runs. Red Sox are getting Wilson Contreras and cash considerations. Cardinals are getting Hunter Dobbins and Yokier for Fajardo and Blake Ida. I don't really know who won this. I feel like the Cardinals did, though, because of the age. And I feel like Contreras is really old. Munetaka Murakami going to the White Sox on a 2-year, $34 million deal. I think he's going to be really good. I think people are hating on him too much for his batting average. I feel like he's going to hit like 30-plus home runs his first year. Paul Blackburn re-signing with the Yankees on a $2 million deal. I miss him on the A's, but I think the Yankees could get some value out of Paul Blackburn. Ian Hamilton going to the Braves on a 1-year contract. Shane Baz going to the Orioles for Slater DeBrun, Caden Bodine, Michael Forett, comp balance draft pick. Loki, the Rays might have won this pick, won this trade. They only have one player for all these other players, and Shane Baz, he's good, but we'll see what happens. Kyle Backus going to the Phillies for Avery Owusu-Asaidu. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Brandon Lowe going to the Pirates. Pirates getting a solid player here for Mike Burrows going to the Astros, and Rays are getting Jacob Melton and Anderson Brito. Matt Strom to the Royals for Jonathan Boland. Sung Sung signs a 3-year deal worth around $13 million. That's it to the Padres. I think they got a steal here. Michael King re-signing a 3-year, $75 million deal to the Padres. Amazing pitcher last year. Very solid re-signing. Sean Armstrong on a 1-year contract to the Guardians. Tyler Austin on a 1-year contract to the Cubs. Coming back to the MLB after he spent the last 6 seasons in Japan with the Bay Stars. He's been such a good hitter in Japan, though, so finally coming back is crazy. Tristan Peters to the White Sox for cash for the Rays. Justin Brule for cash considerations. Luke Weaver on a 2-year deal, $22 million worth to the Mets. He's really good. Last year he had a bad year, but I feel like if he can be in his prime again, he'll be good. Brad Keller on a 2-year, $22 million deal with Phillies. He's solid. Jordan Romano on a 1-year contract to the Angels. I don't think he's that good. He's been very bad for the Blue Jays for the last couple of years. Drew Pomeranz is solid, though, for the Angels. Chris Martin on a 1-year contract re-sign. Caleb Ferguson on a 1-year contract. Adrian Hauser on a 2-year contract for the Giants. I think this is a solid signing. Andrew Nizer on a 1-year contract for the Mariners. Another catcher? How many catchers are they going to sign? Jason Foley on a 1-year deal for the Giants. Another solid deal for the Giants. Foster Griffin on a 1-year contract to the Nationals. He spent the last 3 seasons in Japan, and he posted a 1.62 ERA in his last year in Japan, so that's very good. Caleb Thielbar on a 1-year contract re-sign. Hassan Kim on a 1-year contract re-sign, and it's probably not good after he just broke his hand, but Luis Perales to the Nationals and Jake Bennett to the Red Sox. Adolis Garcia, signing a 1-year deal with the Phillies for $10 million. Josh Bell, a 1-year contract to the Twins. Merrill Kelly on a 2-year contract, $40 million to the Diamondbacks. He's solid. Isaac Collins and Nick Mears for the Royals to Angel Zerpa for the Brewers. I think both teams, benefit here. Dustin May on a 1-year deal to the Cardinals. Kenley Jansen on a 1-year deal to the Detroit Tigers. Ahmed Rosario re-signs with the Yankees. Jorge Blanco, 2-year deal to the Mets. Very solid deal for them. Very solid hitter. Alexis Diaz on a 1-year contract to the Rangers. And a Tyler Alexander 1-year contract to the Rangers. Danny Jansen, 2-year contract to the Rangers. Toronto Blue Jays get Tyler Rogers on a 3-year contract worth $37 million. Very solid deal there. Chase Lee for the Blue Jays. Johan Simon for the Tigers. Michael Garcia extension 5 years. I don't know how much it's worth. But he played so good. Definitely a good re-sign. Morello on a 1-year deal to the Marlins. Lane Thomas on a 1-year deal to the Royals. Colin Holderman on a 1-year deal to the Guardians. Akil Baddoo on a 1-year major league deal to the Brewers. Hopefully he could do good next year. I miss Akil Baddoo. Hobie Milner to the Cubs on a 1-year deal. 3-year deal for Robert Suarez to the Braves, $45 million. Mark Leiter Jr., 1-year contract. He better be good next year because I feel like he's solid, but we'll see. Mike Yastrzemski, 2-year deal, $23 million. I feel like this might be a little bit of overpay for the Braves, but he's a good hitter. Yoniel Curet to the Phillies. Tommy McCullum to the Rays. Pete Alonso, 5-year, $155 million deal to the Orioles. We'll see what happens there. Cal Finnegan, 2-year contract re-signed for $19 million. Gregory Soto on a 1-year contract to the Pirates. Vaughn Grissom to the Angels and Isaiah Jackson to the Red Sox. Edwin Diaz, 3-year contract with the Dodgers. $69 million guarantee, Kyle Schwarber, 5-year, $150 million contract re-sign. Steven Matz, 2-year contract. A very solid deal there. Mike Soroka on a 1-year deal. Harry Ford, Isaac Lyon to the Nationals for Jose Ferrer. Drew Anderson on a 1-year contract to the Tigers. I think he's really good in the what was it? Where was he in again? In the KBO, he was so good. 12-7 with 2.25 ERA, striking out 245 batters in 1 year. If he could do that in the MLB, that'd be crazy. Johan Oviedo to the Red Sox. Tyler Samanigo, and Adonis Guzman for Hostinixion Garcia and Jesus Travieso. Good deal for both teams. Ty Adcock to the Padres on a 1-year contract. Emilio Pagana, a 2-year deal re-signed. Good deal. Miguel Rojas is very old, but, he brings the energy for the Dodgers, so this is solid. Cedric Mullins on a 1-year contract for the Rays. Connor Bogdan, 1-year contract for the Guardians. Anthony Kay on a 2-year, $12 million deal. So good for the Bay Stars. I mean, he posted a 1.74 ERA last year. He could be so good. I remember he was on the Blue Jays for a little bit. Cody Ponce on a 3-year deal. He struck out 252 batters in the, what was it? I think it might have been the KBO. He was on the Eagles, and he won their, I guess, what's it called? Their level of the Cy Young, so basically their Cy Young. I think he'd be very good. We'll see. KBO MVP, 3-year deal. We'll see what the Blue Jays do with him. Hopefully he's good. Ryan Weiss on a 1-year deal, $2.6 million. Ability to earn roughly $10 million. And he was so good. He posted a 2.87 ERA and struck out 207 batters in the KBO last year. Alek Manoah on a 1-year deal to the Angels. Mets signed Devin Williams to a 3-year deal. Ryan Helsley on a 2-year deal to the Orioles. Sam Hentges on a 1-year deal to the Giants. Dylan Cease on a 7-year, $210 million deal with the Blue Jays. Odanier Mosqueda to a minor league contract. Invite to spring training for the Pirates. Jake Fraley resigns with the Rays. Sonny Gray and cash considerations to the Red Sox. And then the Cardinals are getting Richard Fitz and Brandon Clark. I'm going to end the video there because this has been a very long video for my channel. And I feel like that goes over a lot of the free agency. If I did like a full free agency video going over every like deal, I think it'd be like an hour video. But yeah, thank you for all the support lately. If you want to see more content like this, sports content, gaming content, etc., like and subscribe for more. I'll definitely be trying to post every day if I can. And since I have a week break, I'll probably be trying to post every day if I can. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.